of him as I picked up my glass of vodka and took a healthy swig. Camille, I'm sorry. I couldn't do it. Graham. I ignored the eyes of the other Devil's Boot patrons that were burning into the back of my skull, wondering why poor Camille was sitting at the bar in her wedding dress when she was supposed to be getting married. I felt the alcohol burn all the way down my throat. I took another sip, and another. He couldn't do it? This whole thing was his idea. He was the one who said it was going to be okay, that we would be as happy as we could be. And then he didn't show up. He didn't even warn me, just left me the note on the dressing room table. As I was reading it, Amos Ryder knocked on the door. Amos was my daughter Riley's grandfather, but he was also the closest thing I had to a loving and steady father figure. I'd originally asked him to walk me down the aisle today, but my actual father wasn't very pleased with that and did what he normally did. Threatened to cause a scene, take away my and my daughter's inheritance, revoke her trust fund, that sort of thing. So I gave in. I always give in. But when I needed someone, my dad was nowhere near the scene. Amos, however, was always there when it mattered. Ever since the day Gus, his son, told him I was pregnant, Amos has treated me like another daughter. He had spent the morning of the wedding with me because I asked him to. Amos was a good person to have around when you were worried that nerves might get the best of you. He was calm and strong and steady, like a river, Gus had always said. I always wished he could have sat next to me when I took the bar exam. No doubt I would have passed on the first try. "Come in," I croaked, and as soon as I saw his black and gray hair and soft green eyes, tears bubbled up in my own. I wasn't sad because Graham wasn't here and wasn't coming, but because I'd already given up so much of myself for this wedding, and now it wasn't going to happen. I was sad about the complete waste of time and effort. "Cam?" he'd said as he closed the door behind him and rushed toward me. "What's wrong?" His eyes zeroed in on the note in my hand, and I watched his face fall. He knew. Instead of answering, I let out a shaky breath and hugged him. He hugged me back. Riley, who had followed her grandpa into the room, jumped in on the hug too, even though she didn't know what was going on. That girl just loves a snuggle. "Let's go see if your dad is here, sunshine," he said to her. She nodded excitedly and twirled in her flower girl dress. She was so damn excited to throw petals and walk down the aisle before me. My chest constricted. How could I even tell her what had happened? Can you send him back here?" I asked quietly. Amos brought Gus back less than a minute later. I told him Graham wasn't coming, and that I needed him and his fiancée Teddy to take Riley for the rest of the day. Since I'd had a second to compose myself, my voice was professional, unfeeling even. But the look Gus was giving me was anything but. His nostrils flared, and I could almost see him biting his tongue, trying not to let his anger get the best of him. "I need to get out of here," I said, as I ripped the veil out of the low chignon it had been secured in just a few minutes earlier. "Go," Gus and Amos said at the same time. "We'll take care of it." Gus followed up. I trusted them to do that. I ran out the back of the church, not in a runaway bride on her way to freedom sort of way, but in a jilted bride who needed to keep moving so she didn't crumble type of way. Well, that was depressing as hell. And now I was here, mainlining vodka at 3 in the afternoon. I was sufficiently buzzed, the tension in my neck and shoulders loosened by the alcohol. Maybe I'd stay here all day, listen to Hank Williams wax poetic about tears and beers from the jukebox until the sun went down. Then maybe I'd ride the mechanical bull in my wedding dress and give the town even more to talk about. I picked my drink up again and was deeply disappointed when the only thing that met my lips was ice.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.